Welcome to Make Your Money Matter. I'm your host, Brad Barrett. I'm also managing director and partner here at One Capital Management. And today on the show, we're going to talk about three particular signs that you might be in what's called a financial rat race. Now, a rat race, as we all know, is a state where we as people are constantly fighting for money or power. We're just stuck on this wheel, right? And while it's good to have a productive environment, productive bursts, we need to be aware when these three things come around, especially when it comes to your finances. But maybe you're in a rat race to pay off your debt. So if so, check out my new course, How to Pay Off Your Debt. You can find the link in the description box below. Also, make sure to smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode. All right, let's get into it. So again, we've likely all heard of the notion of a rat race. It's like we're running on a hamster wheel. It spins and spins and spins, but we never really get anywhere, okay? And that's the concept. A lot of times I meet with clients around quote unquote, they're chasing the money. And it's tiring, it's exhausting. And I'll argue it's soul crushing. And you know, we're living and working only to pay the bills and looking forward maybe to the weekend for some reprieve, right? It becomes a rat race. But there's alternative ways and ways to live outside of this wheel. And I want to, before we get into that side of things, I want to bring up these three signs that I kind of really went through, signs that you might be in a financial rat race. And so if you're one of these three, make sure you're seeking counsel, finding an advisor, because you want to help yourself, all right? And I'll speak about at the end here around how we can get out of some of these three as well. But number one is this: you're worried about money all the time. If you're worried about money all the time, you're likely in a rat race here, okay? Now, on many of my shows, I clarify the difference between the words worry and concern. Believe it or not, they're very different. Being worried about something is typically spending your energy worrying about something you cannot control. Being concerned is more of a good thing. It's more of a positive way. They sound like the same words, but they're very different. Being concerned tends to lead to action, right? To help you alleviate a concern, you might have something that you can control. So if you're worried about money, we want to change that notion to be concerned about it, right? Because be concerning will lead you to do something about it, right? And by doing something about it, it might seek to start living within your means, start getting a little more disciplined, hopefully, and maybe even reaching out to an advisor. Number two is this: you cannot wait until payday arrives. Now, I shared with someone the other day, somewhat jokingly, that it's really easy to stop your overspending and stop your debt accumulation. It's quite simple. It's just live within your means. Well, it's like, okay, great, Brad. You know, that sounds easier said than done. And I understand that it is. It is easier said than done. But if you're right now waiting for every other Friday or every 2 weeks and you can't wait until payday, you're likely on a rat race. And look, a lot of people are in this. So I'm not sharing this to be, condescending. I'm sharing this to let you know that this is a community that I deal with daily. It's important to be concerned. Don't worry, don't lose sleep, just be concerned about it to a point where you want to do something about it. And yes, some of those things you have to do might be a little bit dramatic, might be a little intense in terms of your lifestyle, but you have to ask yourself this one question: is it worth it to you to make sure you get off this hamster wheel of your finances? If it's not, then move on. But if it is, and you actually do want to do something about it, now might be the time. And number three is this: is whatever you do is never enough. Likely I have a lot of conversations around clients when it comes to debt. This seems to be the third one that just totally triggers them on, I'm in a financial rat race, right? You're living on that paycheck on step number two, or item number two, that might be, a sign of you're in a financial rat race, or item number one, where you're worried about money all the time. And you're realizing that number three, if you're on a rat race, you're kind of like, nothing I do is ever enough. I'm always breaking even at best. I'm always living on whatever comes in. These are all signs that you likely have. You're prone to these, maybe you're even prone to uncontrolled shopping or spending, which is more of an emotional thing we'll talk about on our next show. These are all things that happen within your lifestyle and you're not the only person that's in this, but you're the only person that can do something about it. And so this show today came from a conversation just having with clients around realizing and discovery meeting with them that they're in a rat race. They were sharing it. I was mirroring what they were saying. And they're like, we're just on this wheel. We've been on this wheel for years, right? And they're specifically in a financial rat race. And so these three signs, right? If you're worried about money all the time, you cannot wait until payday arrives, and whatever you do just seems never enough, to break these chains, it's really important to understand the first step is you're in a financial rat race. And there's some simple steps here. You want to invest in assets. You want to buy assets, ultimately grow your wealth, but become enrolled in the process first. And to do that, you have to start at the bare minimum, which is living within your means. Take a look at where you're at right now. Find an advisor to help you calculate the most effective and efficient ways to get out of something. Maybe it's debt. We have a course on that we're doing through our Make Your Money Matter Academy, which again, the link's in the job description box below. And this is all about how to get out of debt of any amount. And you can go to our website as well. Look, it's $30. It's worth your time, I promise you. And it's important to learn these steps and strategies to get out of debt if you're in debt right now. Because largely what I see, again, I'll put a bow on the show this way, is that if you're in any of these signs of a rat race, I would likely tend to argue that a lot of these has to do with debt you've either taken on or accumulated that is making you feel like you're on this hamster wheel. And I've shared this, it's time to get off that hamster wheel, okay? You can use our course, you can research it, you can seek counsel, you can find an advisor, but make sure you activate yourself and do something about it. Hey, hope you enjoyed that today. If you did, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a single episode. And until next time, always remember to make your money matter.